Hey guys, so I'm doing this video because I wasn't really fully satisfied with the way that the first storyline video turned out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably redo the whole entire thing. And for that reason, this video is going to be pretty long, but I'm only going to cover the pilot episode. And then after that, I'll probably get into later, stories and iterations of those stories and stuff like that. Because I personally feel like this is already just the pilot by itself has so much material and has so much info that it would be crazy for me to overload you guys with everything that I do have. So the best thing for me to do is to probably just cover the pilot separate and then get into the later topics of season 1 and what's going to be happening there. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Michael Daversa, at the age of 8 years old, was taken and experimented on to make the ultimate weapon, an alien-human hybrid called Para-GX. After making his escape, we fast forward 5 years. Michael is a 14-year-old boy going through changes such as puberty and special abilities that are developing and evolving. Feeling that he should keep this side of himself a secret, in a world where superheroes are comic book and fiction, he feels that people surrounding him would just not understand and will see him differently. Dealing with normal issues that come with being a teenager, Michael finds himself going through the early stages of puberty. As his abilities begin developing and evolving, Michael starts learning just what he is capable of. After missing the bus, then consequently missing the train, Michael uses his abilities to race the train to the school, using a series of parkour and his dashing/air dashing abilities. After beating the train to the school, Michael is greeted by his best friends, Alicia Hunters, Dylan West, and Christina DiBella outside of the school. Walking into the building, Alicia pokes fun at the idea of Dylan's mysterious science internships and Michael's mysterious appearance at the school despite being late and missing the bus and the train. Dylan begins poking fun back at Alicia's intrepid and skeptical way of thinking. After spending the day at school, Michael repeatedly is seen peering over at Angelina Nicole, the girl next door that Michael has had a crush on since he started living with his aunt and uncle years ago. Despite being in such close proximity, whether it be them living so close by to one another or being in the same school since they were children, Michael and Angelina have never quite interacted with one another. Angelina's father being the police captain and her mother being a lawyer, her parents always kind of kept very busy. And between that and her being the captain of the cheerleading squad, and the two of them appeared to be just from different worlds that always paralleled but never truly crossed. Michael has a dream telling him to follow a path just past the cemetery where the voice is telling him that it is time for him to fulfill his destiny. As a bright light flashes, jarring him awake, Michael wakes up on the side of a highway where Vincent Adonis appears to be driving. When Michael comes to and abruptly causes Vincent Adonis' car to go off the road into a telephone pole that collapses onto the car, Vincent is knocked unconscious on impact, but pinned in the car, which starts leaking fuel. As the telephone pole begins to spark, moments before the car ignites, Michael, without a second hesitation, dashes to the car, rips the car door off, and rips off the seatbelt, lifting his lifeless body out of the car as the fuel ignites, triggering an explosion, with Michael shielding him from the blast. After EMTs and cops arrive, Michael's uncle arrives, furious, asking why his adopted son was out in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night. Michael, with no explanation, reveals that he must have sleptwalked miles out, and when he came, he saw the accident. He went over to check if there were any survivors. During the chaos, Vincent and Michael never spoke, prompting him to seek him out after school the next day. As a result, Vincent Adonis reveals that he took one of his father's cars for a joyride. He questions why he was on the road in the middle of the night. With no answers, Michael tries to apologize for the car being wrecked, as Vincent just shrugs it off, revealing his father will just replace it anyway. Intrigued by Michael, Vincent reveals that he was actually expelled from private school prior to ending up in Staten Island High. His father appears to be having him reside there, almost as a punishment for his being an embarrassment, or possibly to wait till the PR nightmare that he caused dies down. Whichever one it could be. As the two become fast friends, Michael's aunt and uncle try to discuss Michael's strange and unexplained behavior. On another night, Michael is jolted out of a dream again. But unlike before, he decides to be proactive. As he revisits the location where the dream placed him at the night before, Michael continues on the trail, and he bumps into Angelina Nicole, who is at the cemetery in the middle of the night. Michael finally musters up the courage to talk to the girl that he's had a crush on for years, as she reveals that she has recently had a breakup with the captain of the football team, and has been contemplating quitting the cheerleading squad. Angelina's parents are also getting a divorce, and her mother has been offered a job in another city, with Angelina being asked who she wants to stay with. With her life being a complete mess, she started to keep to herself more than usual, as she ponders whether it is that she is going to move to a different city or finish out her high school career in Staten Island. As the two talk, they share a moment. She reveals that she is out there at the cemetery talking to her grandmother. Despite the two never meeting, she describes having an abnormal connection to her, being told by her family repeatedly that they have so many striking similarities. Due to the lack of feeling like she would be understood by her friend circle, she finds it peaceful to talk to someone that listens to her and doesn't judge her. Feeling some sense of mutual understanding, the two talk for hours, as Michael ends the night walking her home, ultimately asking her to the homecoming dance. Angelina becomes increasingly intrigued by Michael's mysterious nature and the countless unexplainable things that surround him. The next day, Michael follows the trail. He finds himself deep in the woods, where he finds a rectangular disc. After picking up the disc, a sound triggers, and a bright light surrounds him, until the fortress forms around him. As the formation of this fortress concludes, a yellow, bright beam of light is shot into the night sky. When Michael regains consciousness, he is instantly downloaded with knowledge of other worlds, his origins, and other alien information. Alicia and Christina, while searching for where the beam of light originated, find Michael unconscious in the woods in what appears to be a crater, having been missing for nearly 2 days. Dealing with the repercussions of his disappearance, Michael finds himself in deep trouble with his aunt and uncle. Again, as they ponder what could possibly be going on with him and why he would disappear for the past 2 days. Despite feeling that they need to be around more and keep a closer eye on him, they decide to follow through on their plans to go to the city and celebrate their anniversary, telling Michael to come straight home after school and that he is to do nothing excluding the dance that is coming up. Meanwhile, Alicia grills Michael on what happened, trying to write a story on the events that transpired with the very little bit of information that she does have. Alicia, with her out-of-the-box way of thinking, basically pokes fun and starts to question whether or not aliens may have had something to do with the beam of light. Michael quickly tries to change the subject, revealing that he asked Angelina Nicole to the homecoming dance. Alicia reveals that she's going with Dylan as a friend, which now is going to look like a date, because they were all supposed to go together. And especially since Michael now has a date and Christina is off to the city to run some errands, it's going to leave only the two of them together. As Dylan tries to balance out Alicia's negativity, he tries to support his friend, finally making his move. Meanwhile, Michael worries that something really bad is coming, as nightmares continue to warn him of an eclipse, and after he wakes up, he has repeatedly drawn the symbol for arrival. As the evening begins, things seem to go well, until the school's power is randomly cut, and then the backup generators kick on. Michael is gone, overhearing Alicia in trouble in the hallway. Invaders take over the school and the rest of the city. The invaders appear to be like scouts or infiltrators that look almost kind of like SWAT officers. Michael leaves Angelina at the dance and begins fighting the invaders in the school hallway before he disappears, grabbing a black hooded leather jacket, going out and trying to stop whatever seems to be going on out in the city. During the blackout, while Christina is on her way back from the city, the car goes into the side of the bridge. As it teeters on the edge of the bridge, Christina attempts to open the door, realizing that it isn't able to be opened because of the concrete. With her seatbelt locking her into position, Christina calls Michael in a panic. The car jolts abruptly as Christina is knocked unconscious, and the call completely is disconnected. Michael, realizing that she is at the bridge, super speeds to the bridge, grabbing the car rear before it can fall into the bridge. Christina awakens to see Michael pulling the car with ease. As a stunned Christina pretends to be unconscious, Michael rips off the car door and checks on Christina before super speeding away. Once she realizes Michael is gone, she tries to get over the initial shock. He super speeds around, stopping the scout invaders and ultimately disabling the key, stopping the pulsating blackouts that were occurring throughout Staten Island. It appears the light that beamed into the sky was a beacon for other beings to have heard, and Hellwrath and his reinforcements are coming to Earth. The story picks up weeks later with the aftermath of the invaders' attacks. Returning to the school, Michael is confronted by Angelina about his mysterious disappearing at the homecoming dance, as the two decide to just be friends following the being stood up at the dance. Alicia is off to the races to figure out what exactly happened surrounding Michael's mysterious disappearance for 2 days and the beam of light that went into the sky, as well as the invaders that were attacking the school. Alicia starts a case file on weird and unexplained things, driven to get to the bottom of it, trying to figure out the mystery of what happened and what caused the mysterious blackouts and the computer virus that were affecting all the phones and computers within a 7-mile radius. This sets up for the remainder of the season, where Alicia is starting to keep her own secrets, and is now on the trail, trying to find out what Michael's secret is and what's been going on. Christina later on reveals that she saw everything that happened at the bridge, Michael saving her life and his special abilities. With his best friend now knowing his secret, all that's left is for him to fill in the missing pieces. An excited Christina ends off the episode basically questioning her friend, asking him all these weird questions about his abilities and who he is, as they discuss the secret that he's been keeping for all these years. In the conclusion of the episode, following the aftermath of him stopping the scout invaders, Hellwrath reveals that he has his sights set on Earth, as he plans to find Para-GX and eradicate this world in the name of Armageddon. Hellwrath is a vengeful, rogue dark god. He's a being that has obliterated countless worlds and is a member of Armageddon's elite guard. With that being said, I'm going to bring this video to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed the pilot episode of Outsider, and there will be more to come. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell if you want to never miss out on Outcast Comics content. I think in the next video, we're going to probably start talking about the Exodus chapter, or that sub-storyline that's going to be taking place leading into the mid-season finale. So I'm just going to probably break each of these down into subjects, so that this way it's not so confusing as to what's going on. Like, I'm not going to break them down episode by episode, because there's just way too much information per episode to kind of cover in that way. And I don't want these videos being too lengthy. So with that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next video.